What's going on, everybody? This is Clark Beckham, season 14 runner-up of American Idol. We've got the first part of the top 24. We got celebrity duets and we've got solos. Let's go. We've got our first show that is in real time. It's not live. Looks live, it's not live. They don't say it's live, but they're definitely giving that look. The difference between real time and live, real time is they did it as if it were live, but it wasn't actually live. The stage has never looked better. Holy cow. With the socially distanced crowds, I guess they have more room to work with, but oh my gosh, the lighting, everything, the stage looks unbelievable. First, we have ALANIS. The first spot is the worst spot to sing. On my season, I think the first or second person to sing from top 24 all the way to top like 8 were cut. Every single time. So first spot's really hard. People are gonna forget by the time they get to the end of the show. Way back in the day, they used to do a really fast recap of everybody. They don't do that anymore. So it's really tough to be first. The highest note she sang, she crushed. And I didn't know she could do that. Ryan introduced her as a powerhouse, and I never thought of her that way. And then she sings that note. I was like, that's why he's referring to her as a powerhouse, because they knew that note was coming. Really strong. Unfortunately, all the other notes that she belted were just a little under, and it's so tough and it's such a steep learning curve when you're performing live like this in real time, just one time through. Pitch is the first thing to really suffer. On my season, it was the same thing. The first time we actually sang with the crowd and with our in-ears and everything was new, all of us were flat. She falls into that a little bit, crushes the top note. The camera quality looks a little weird. It looks a little grainy. I mean, obviously it's not going to be quite as good as Hollywood Week when they've had time to have the footage and color it and do all the things, but still, her duet partner's Jimmy. He kills. He sounds really good. And this part of the show, I'm starting to think, all right, are they tuning at all? Because it's not live. And at this part, I'm thinking, okay, so they're tuning the duet with the celebrity. And back and forth through the whole show, I can't figure out. It's not cut and dry. The me thinking the world revolves around me part of me thinks maybe they heard me call them out on these tunings and now they're trying to mess with me. That's almost what it seems like. I'm just gonna act like they're not tuned at all because it's not quite consistent and I really just can't tell. The solo for sure is not tuned. There's fairness involved, so I feel like they're not gonna tune some voices and not others, or some moments and not others, but that's what it sounds like, so I don't know. We're just gonna say it's not tuned. That's how I'm gonna critique this. Cassandra Coleman is next. She sings with Ryan Tedder. Is it me, or is Ryan singing like he's on The Voice in a battle round? He sings like he's trying to get a gig, like he's competing against the other contestant. He does this with Cassandra and DESHAWN. The last note, he just rips this giant run, and the contestant is just like singing a very middle range, solid note and kind of lets him just upstage them. Also, I didn't know that Ryan Tedder could do runs and big notes like that. I wonder if he's doing because he doesn't do it in his songs. I wonder if he's doing these runs and these high notes to appeal to what he perceives the American Idol crowd to be. People that love big notes and high notes. Cassandra's stepping up to the plate beautifully here. She's owning the moment. I feel like she looks totally natural up there, like she belongs there. The judges keep saying things like, oh, your nerves, I see it in your face. Maybe they do. They're obviously way more experienced than I am. They're way smarter than me, and they're there in the flesh. Personally, I didn't see it on her face at all, and I'm worried that the judges are just saying something because they didn't know what else to say. But I'm truly not sure what it is. We have to realize, now that the shows are done as if they were live, the judges have to perform too. Before, if they said something dumb, they could just edit it out, cut it out, and not have it. But now, not only do they have to say something good, but they have to say something after every single performance. So the judges are performing now, so they're under stress. Just like a contestant, when the pressure's on and it's time to perform, they're gonna get it right, and sometimes they're gonna get it wrong. They just have to say something, and so they say something. We're gonna give a little more grace to the judges in what they say. ALYSSA WRAY sings Something in the Water. Wow. Yes. Hey, come on. What sing.
There must have been something in the water.
Yep.
And now I'm singing along to Amazing Grace. Can nobody wipe this smile off my face?
Wow, owning it.
Joy in my heart, angels by my side.
Let's go.
changed. And now I'm strong.
Wow. Total control. The dynamics were beautiful. Her big notes were great pitch. She had wonderful pitch. The best I've ever heard her sing. Really great arrangements vocally, like just where to go big, where to go soft, where to add the growl with the band. The whole thing was a smash. I think it was the best solo performance of the night. Threw in some country twang out of nowhere. I've never heard her do that before, but she is country. She's from Kentucky, has a little bit of a southern accent. Preacher man. Moving on to the duet with Katharine McPhee and ALYSSA Ray, and the solo. She's owning the moment as much as anyone else is. She is totally stepping up, owning the stage, going for it. She's totally relaxed, like she's built to be there. Because she is. In the duet, there's one run that she does that I can just see. It feels like to me is spontaneous. You can do spontaneous runs, but when you do them spontaneously, you have to make sure that you know that run that you're gonna spontaneously do. I might sing a song right now spontaneously and do runs, but the runs that I choose are runs that I know very well, have practiced, and know exactly how to execute them. She does one run, I think it's something like, da-da, and it's just all of emotion. It comes out and she wants it. And she just kind of flubs a little bit. And it's no big deal because what was before was amazing, what was after is amazing, and she's doing great, and the emotion's there. But if you were to really practice that run and just sit it down where it's supposed to be, each note, boom, like body blows, it would wreck people, put people on the floor. She needs to get those runs together because she has the capability. She just needs to practice them, do them slowly. A lot of people think that when people run, the people who can do runs really well, just spontaneously do them and they don't have to practice them. They just feel it and then go for it. That's not true. Mark McGwire, one of the best hitting baseball players ever, was asked by a reporter after he broke this big record, how does it feel to have the natural ability to just hit? He looked at her and showed her his hands. Did you see the calluses on these hands? Do you see the scars on these hands? Do you know how many thousands of hours I've spent in a batting cage? It's not this natural ability to hit or to do runs, or to sing high notes. You have to put in the work. Then you can spontaneously do a run. Then you can spontaneously swing at anything and hit a home run like Mark McGwire. But ALYSSA really crushed. She's a winner of the night. WYATT PIKE is next. He sounds great. I wasn't going crazy. He did everything right. He couldn't have done anything better. And the thing with WYATT, because he's not a stunt singer, he doesn't do any big belting high notes or any runs, and he doesn't need to, I wonder if he's gonna be able to sustain the American Idol voter to keep him going week to week to week to week, even though he doesn't give them a wow moment like WILLIE or Grace or ALYSSA or ANILEE or so many of the other singers and the typical American Idol singer. Ben Rector's his duet partner. That's WYATT's career path. If WYATT's gonna be a big star, it's gonna look like a Ben Rector career. They're very similar. They have great voices, great taste, great songs, seemingly really nice, genuine guys. This was a great pairing. He was cool without the guitar. He totally could have played, but he made the decision. He showed that the guitar is not a crutch for him. ALANA sings with Brian McKnight. She sounds great. She looks great. She's doing everything right. She's owning the stage, but for some reason, she doesn't do anything for me, and I'm looking inward and I'm thinking it's gotta be me. But when she was performing, all the notes I wrote down were about everything on the stage except her. I was writing down, holy cow, the band is killing, the bass player, oh my gosh, Brian McKnight sounds amazing. The stage is gorgeous. These chords are sick. The arrangement is sick. And I didn't write anything down about her. And bottom line, if you're gonna be the winner of American Idol, if you're gonna be a big star, you have to have something that when you get on stage, everyone is looking at you and can't stop talking about you. I wanna hear y'all's thoughts because it really might just be me. And I wanna be curious if you guys are thinking what I'm thinking, or if you guys think I'm crazy and she's killing it and I just don't know what I'm talking about. ANILEE, she sings solo and then she sings with Joss Stone. ANILEE's solo, really cool arrangement, so close to being amazing. I mean, so close to being this mind-blowing moment. She just missed too much. Near the beginning, I think she sang a minor third instead of a major third, meaning, that's a major third, and a minor third would be, and when you sing a minor third, and the chord is going, it doesn't sound good. And she did something similar to that. Of course, by accident, she's just flat. And again, you're gonna have this huge learning curve when you get to this point in the competition relating to pitch, and she's fallen into that a little bit here. She missed some runs at the end too. Again, really close to really special. Arrangement was great. I still love her. Voice is amazing. She's still my favorite contestant. The duet was sick. Oh my gosh, the bass player. Come on. Come on. I loved the whole thing. And then the second half of the duet was all ad-libs, which I loved. And then Katie says, I wish you would have done more ad-libs. Roll the dice more. What? She said the whole half of the song was straight ad-libs. There's no one who did more ad-libs than her in that song. And she did great. And what's really dangerous is telling someone who runs a lot, and in my opinion, always tastefully. I never think she does too much. It's very dangerous to tell someone to do more runs because she can very easily get too far into that by just listening to what Katie said. And I don't want that to happen. I think she's running just enough. She did a whole, again, half the song was ad-libs. That made no sense to me. Her ad-libs were fantastic. DESHAWN Goncalves. I love DESHAWN. I freaking love DESHAWN. He is a soulful R&B opera singer.
And may your wishes all come true.
Yeah.
May you always do for others and others do for you. May you build a ladder to the sun and climb every road.
Wow.
And may you stay.
He's doing these trills, and a trill is kind of like very quick notes that leave the note that you're on and come back, and might go down and come back. Runs are leaving the note completely, going somewhere else. So run would be, a trill would be, That's all trills and then a run. It's kind of all staying right there. He does trills a lot, and they're really, really pretty. And then he goes into this beautiful operatic sounding chest voice thing that just crushed me. I mean, you go from the trills into that, I am sold. After the band comes in, he's actually just enough off on all of the belting notes where you can't quite settle in and enjoy it. But the first half of the performance before the band comes in is one of my favorite performances of the night. I want to know who's doing these arrangements too. So you have an arrangement and a vocal coach. There's like 3 or 4 pairs of those coaches, and each contestant is divided into all the different ones. And a lot of times they're responsible for making the arrangements or taking a contestant's idea of an arrangement and actually making it into something good for the TV. Now, when he goes into the duet, I'm thinking, you know what? These trills might be a little too much. He needs to be careful not to trill every note that's held out. Here we have Ryan hitting this crazy note and doing runs all over DESHAWN at the end. Graham DeFranco picks the best song of the night. It's called WRAY by John Splithoff. John Splithoff is actually a friend of mine and the person that I tell people to look up when they ask for new music. He's someone who I listen to prove to myself that I have more to go. He's a very kind soul, wonderful individual, great guitar player, piano player, songwriter, singer. You should check John Splithoff out. And while you're out there listening to music that you're discovering, I know somebody else who you should check out. It's me, and I have an album called Light Year. It's available wherever you listen to music, and it sounds like this. Graham is so close to nailing this. These falsetto, groovy, sexy songs are really hard to sing when you've got any type of nerves. Just that pitch up top, the breath support it needs, really hard to do. He doesn't quite pull it off on those high notes. The next song Graham did was with Ben Rector. Really pretty song. Graham's got really good musical taste, and he picks really great songs. Some of them are pretty hard, but this one, he and Ben knocked out of the park. One of my favorite duets right behind Brian McKnight and Andrea. Graham ends really strong here. Next, we have Andrea Valley singing with the greatest duet singer of all time. It's, in my opinion, Brian McKnight. Look back on all the features that he's done with Christina Aguilera, Josh Groban, and many more. He is the freaking man when it comes to features and duets on live performances. And he's such a kind and humble dude. I actually wrote a song with Brian and just spent time with him at his house, and he is the man. He's so kind and humble and sweet and cool. Exactly how you see him talking to Andrea is exactly who he is. I'm a giant fan, if it's not obvious. Andrea's solo song, she does great. She sounds really good. I don't know if it's the right feel for Idol. I don't necessarily want to say song choice because I'm under the impression that you can make any song work, but it's not the right musical choice, in my opinion, for this show, for this moment. But then she starts to sing with Brian, and oh my gosh. That song felt so good. They sang a song by George Michael that is most known for maybe the most popular saxophone solo of all time. And it's usually done in jest, but the song is brilliant and they knock it out of the park. This is the best duet of the night. Andrea could very easily, sneakily, be the best contestant. Vocally, the personality, her stage presence, everything she's doing with Brian here is so good. Really, it's just a matter of, can she be consistent enough, not in her ability, but in her musical choices to set herself up for success and deliver these moments time and time and time again. Next, we have CECIL for his solo performance. I gotta be honest, it was pretty bad from top to bottom. I didn't like the song choice. I'm not a big country fan myself, generally speaking, so maybe that's me. But an old country song is not really the move in my non-country fan opinion, so I could be wrong there. It seems like the learning curve of playing as if it was a live show with a live audience got to him the most. He seemed uncomfortable up there, didn't know how to really move. Remember, the very beginning, his audition, they told him to slow down and stop moving so much. Now they're saying, get your hand out of your pocket. That reminds me, the audition they said, put your hand in your pocket and don't move it. And he couldn't do it. And now they can't get him to get his hand out of his pocket. So I wonder if that's something that he took from the judges and thought, I just need to keep my hand in my pocket all the time. I don't know. His pitch is pretty off entirely, and that could be just a hearing thing. You just hear yourself differently when you're in that setting on that stage with that sound. And if you hear yourself wrong, you can think you're on the pitch the whole time and you're actually just off. So you're off the entire song. Seen it happen a lot. Seems like he falls into it here. And he seemed very nasally to me. This was a really rough performance. He's lucky that he's near the end. That's the best spot to be in. So we'll see how many fans that he garnered up through his audition Hollywood Week, if they're there for him. But performance-wise, he suffered the most to the learning curve that is a live audience and a live show. Next, we have Willie Spence. He sings with Katharine McPhee. By the way, Katharine McPhee is my all-time favorite singer on American Idol. She has the best audition ever with God Bless a Child.
Money, you got lots of friends crowding around your door. Oh, when you're gone and spending ends, they don't come no more.
Okay.
I remember watching that and just falling in love as a 12-year-old, I think. Willie has a high quality voice. Just can sing, make noise with his voice, and it sounds so good. The control and the arranging that he does with his voice. He's a very, very, very musical singer. He knows the notes to sing that are in the chords. He knows when to go big, when to go soft. Also, Willie's got world-class pitch. On the money. I hear him sing and I think it's tuned because it's so perfect. But he's so consistent, and I know they're not tuning the solo song. Had some really nice touches on the prayer with Katharine McPhee. This is a great performance from Willie. Grace Kinsler is our last singer. Her pitch is good. She feels like she has a little more control. The run in the middle where the band dropped out, she just smacked this run. It's pretty clean. And at the end, she missed some notes in that last run to leave half the people, maybe most people, going, wow, those notes were sure high. And the remaining people impressed by the high notes while being confused on the note selection because I think she just missed them. She wasn't the only person who missed notes tonight. Almost everyone missed notes. But Joss Stone brings something up that's really great. She basically forces her to stop doing runs until the end, not just because you don't want to do too many runs, but she brings up the point, nailing a line without a run is often way more powerful than singing a line and having a run at the end. 2 or 3 notes sung with conviction beat 5 to 7 notes sung correctly. Because you can sing a run correctly and everyone's like, cool, that was a run, or wow, that was a run. But when you sing a run with total conviction and it just smacks, that's what makes people fall down to the floor, run out of rooms, throw things, hit things, take their shoes off and throw them at the TV. And that's what Grace starts to do here in this duet. Instead of doing very quick notes and runs and bam, 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 she starts to just hold these notes and bend them and slide into them and really let them sing and spread their wings and sing some of the best notes that I've heard her sing the whole season.
Ooh, what's left of this world?
Nice.
The world he left behind. I've got to go. I've got to go.
March Madness is going on, and it makes me think, when I played basketball in high school, my coach always told us, take high percentage shots. If a fadeaway three is not a shot that you're gonna make often, then don't take it. Layups are very high percentage shots. Shooting within 10 feet of the rim, those are high percentage shots. Take the high percentage shots. And it's the same way with singing here. When you're doing these crazy high notes in your upper range, take high percentage shots, because those are incredible. Soaring on one note that is in the freaking stratosphere, almost nobody can do that. Grace can do that. That's an extremely high percentage shot. And she shows it here. She did it like 5 times, and they were perfect and golden and sweet. So I'm really excited to see the advancement that she's gonna make and that Joss was able to communicate to her, because Joss can do runs. Joss is a soulful woman, and she was able to communicate it really well. Not just in a way that says, don't do so much, but in a way that says, do this instead. And we saw that happen in real time, and it was glorious. If you're watching this as a premiere, I'm about to do a live stream. The moment this video ends, go to my channel and click on a live stream for post-review top 24 part 1. And let's continue to have the conversation. What did you guys think? You ask me questions, I'll ask you questions. Super chat will be on. Anything you can do to help me really means a lot. I don't make any money off of these videos other than subscribers and super chat. Speaking of subscribers, if you'd like to be a Groove Crew member and have access to the live stream that I do for members only immediately after the show, and I go through my notes and kind of give my unfiltered thoughts and hear from you guys, interact with you guys a little bit, because there's not as many people. I can see everyone there. You can join by clicking the join button underneath this video, or you can go to my channel and join that way. Make sure you're on a computer for that. Also, hit that like and subscribe button while you're here. This is a pretty good show. Got some great singers. I'm looking forward to tonight. Make sure you catch the premiere when these videos come out. Monday nights at 6:30 Central and Wednesday nights at 6:30 Central. I'll see you guys next week. I love you all. Be wonderful. Goodbye.